Detroit, Curtis McElhinney wasn't going to sweat the details on Saturday at Little Caesars Arena. Though there was the assumption in some corners that McEhinney had no worry about losing his job as the Maple Leafs' backup goaltender to Garret Sparks, that's not how McElhinney was approaching the Leafs' final preseason game of 2018. "It's a tough question to answer," McElhinney said after the morning skate at the MasterCard Centre in Toronto. "I don't really know where the organization is at in terms of their decision. I'm just looking at the game as another opportunity to showcase what I can bring." With Sparks watching from the bench, McElhinney had an uneven performance, allowing 4 goals on the first 21 shots he faced as the Leafs lost 5-1 to the Detroit Red Wings. Still, of the Wings' first 4 goals, there might have been only one that McElhinney should have stopped, a backhander by Dominic Turgeon while Detroit was shorthanded in the first period. And there were point-blank saves by McElhinney on Martin Frk, Darren Helm and Luke Glendening. Vari Sarajarvi and FRK both blew one-timers past McElhinney during Detroit power plays, while Matt Pumpel scored a seeing-eye goal while McElhinney was screened. The Wings' 5th goal, on a power play in the 3rd period, was scored by Libor Sulak on a breakaway. Whether McElhinney takes his usual spot on the end of the bench when the Leafs open the regular season at home against the Montreal Canadiens remains to be seen. Sparks would love to be given a chance to build off his status as the reigning American Hockey League Goalie of the Year, but an .886 save percentage in 3 preseason games likely has scuttled that desire. McElhinney has faced uncertainty in his National Hockey League career in the past, as the Leafs claimed him on waivers from the Columbus Blue Jackets in January 2017. Previously, the 35-year-old was traded 3 times and was claimed on waivers one other time. "I guess it doesn't make you concerned about doing it all over again. If anything," McElhinney said, "I have been around for a little while, so I have played a bit, and my skin has got pretty thick over the years." 7th dilemma. Little was on the line in the game, and, truth be told, it was quite possible, in fact, expected, that no one wearing a Leafs sweater, other than one of the goalies, on Saturday night will be in uniform on Wednesday. With the Leafs' 3rd defense pair of Travis Dermott and Igor Ozhiganov seemingly settled, it was down to the race for the right to be scratched in the opener, aka the 7th defenseman. None of Connor Carrick, Kaya Rosen, Justin Hull or Andreas Borgman set the world afire in camp in the preseason, but if we were to bet, we suspect Hull would be the 7th defenseman. Carrick, set to make $1.3 million US in 2018-19, and Hull, who will make $675,000, would have to clear waivers to be sent to the Toronto Marlies. Neither Rosen nor Borgman require waivers. If anything, the Leafs could have been trying to showcase Carrick for a trade. There is the chance, too, that the Leafs open the season with 8 defensemen on the roster. Has Carrick had any feedback from coach Mike Babcock during camp? "We haven't talked much," Carrick said. "I'm not sure there is a ton to talk about." Ouch. From the hash marks, the Leafs' goal was scored by Carl Grundstrom at 1:44 of the second and came on a 2-on-0 with Adam Brooks. The goal doesn't happen without an initial heads-up pass by Vincent Louverty to Grundstrom to start the play. The Leafs lost Rich Clune to a leg injury in the 2nd period. Clune had to be helped to the dressing room after making his way slowly to the bench. Emerson Clark never had a chance of cracking the Leafs roster, but that did not stop the native of Whitby, ONT, from putting forth a lively camp in preseason. The 25-year-old forward, who had 130 penalty minutes in 48 games for San Jose of the All last season, busted his butt on every shift, and there he was in the first period, drawing a holding call on defenseman Dylan McIlrath in the offensive zone. In the 3rd, Clark held up in a scrap with Luke Witkowski. Not really going out on a limb to say Clark quickly should become a Marlies fan favorite. The expectation was that the Leafs will announce final cuts on Sunday, with the main roster ready to go for practice on Monday. The final 23-man roster has to be submitted to the NHL by 5 p.m. On Tuesday, Detroit outshot Toronto 37-26. Dermott got through a shoulder injury and was happy with his play on Friday night in Toronto, but was careful not to make any assumptions about his roster status. As a younger guy, you have to earn that right to know you're going to be with a guy day in and day out in the same pairing, Dermott said. It's comforting going into the season opener. If I'm in, does Babcock see Josh Leivo as a fit on the left side on Nazem Kadri's line? It looks to me like that's where they will start in the regular season, but you just go day to day, Babcock said. The Leafs are mourning the loss of Greg Therrien, who played in 427 games for Toronto from 1982 to 88, recording 169 points. Therrien, a native of Marmora, ONT, who also played for the Los Angeles Kings, was 58. Kashan at postmedia.com, twitter.com/KoshToronto's, and